everyone, and welcome back to another Tomb of Sargeras heroic commentary and guide video. Today we will be taking a look at the heroic fallen avatar of Sargeras fight, specifically from a Restoration Shaman point of view. I hope you enjoy, and if you learned something, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Let's begin. Heroic Avatar is a relatively simple fight for healers, with some key points to look out for throughout the fight. The first thing to look out for is the tank debuff, Desolate. Tanks should be taunting off each other at 2 stacks of this debuff, as it increases damage taken from Desolate again, and typically tanks should only be taking 2 of these to avoid fatal damage. The next ability that you'll need to look out for is Unbound Chaos. This ability will cause pools of damage to spawn under the feet of everyone in the raid. The pools explode after 1.5 seconds, causing damage to anyone standing in them. To avoid taking damage from this ability, I typically run straight back away from the boss towards the wall, to avoid trapping other players and to get myself out of the danger zone as soon as possible. This is a perfect time to use your Healing Tide Totem as well as your Spirit Walker's Grace, as people will undoubtedly take damage from the burst as they get used to doing the fight. Plus, there's the mining taking damage from the pools when they spawn. The next major ability is Rupture Realities. Here the boss will do an enormous amount of AoE damage, and players take less damage the further they are away from the boss. This is another good place for a minor cooldown such as AG or any healing trinkets that you might have equipped. Next, let's talk about the Shadowy Blades. These spectral daggers will pick a target and, after a few seconds, go charging off in the direction of their target, dealing shadow damage and leaving a pool to damage and slow anyone caught in the ability. If possible, try to take these to the outside of the room to avoid hitting more members of the raid with them. The heroic ability in Phase 1 is Touch of Sargeras. These are circles that will spawn around the room and need to be soaked, or they explode, doing lethal damage to the entire raid. You can either have people stack in them or have them immuned by players with the right immunities. Since there aren't too many good places in this fight for Spirit Link Totem, I like to use my Spirit Link Totem on these. Once the boss reaches 20% or he reaches full energy, he will break the platform and take the raid into Phase 2. Be sure that the maiden is killed before he breaks the platform, or he will consume the maiden, taking on her health. Once in Phase 2, be sure to avoid tornadoes. Anyone who is hit with a tornado will take a ticking debuff. These do a large amount of damage and should be avoided to keep up all of the healer's mana, as too many debuffs out there can be a quick drain to anyone's mana pool. The avatar will also gain a seer buff, doing increasing amounts of damage to everyone in the raid. This just needs to be healed through, but keep in mind that plus a tornado debuff can be enough to kill a person. So be sure to avoid tornadoes and stand in all of the healing circles available. Ruptured Realities also happens in this phase, except when it explodes, it will break the platform. Anyone who is left off the platform will then take ticking damage from the fell lava, so be sure that you're far enough away when this goes off and have a cooldown ready for anyone misfortunate enough to fall off. The final ability that needs to be dealt with is Dark Mark. This will put a purple circle around several players in the raid that will explode after 6 seconds, doing almost 8 million shadow damage and knocking players back. Players can share this damage if they stack up in the marks. Make sure that anyone who gets the mark who can immune it does so, and that the rest of the marks have multiple players stacking in them to share the damage. And that's about it for this fight. It's a relatively slow fight for healers until Phase 2, but it's an enjoyable one all the same. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more shaman healing point of view videos, and thumbs up this video if it helped you out. Thanks you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!